Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Yay! Welcome back to Influence Wars, where we talk about who is fighting to own your attention online. I'm your host, Anti.Prophet, and today's topic, trans children. Now, we've known for a while that the topic of schools transitioning kids to another gender without parental consent is something that gets a lot of views on social media. Because the idea of something like this is either so incredibly repulsive to someone, or the person supports it and thinks that it is the responsibility of the school to save a child from potential abuse in the home by supporting them in their gender transition. It's pretty polarizing no matter which side of the aisle you stand on. So all that being said, let's take a look at the clip in question.
My daughter changed her identity, not after years of discussion or family dialogue, not after joint input from both of her parents. No, this happened quickly, secretly, encouraged by school-appointed therapists and a system that never thought to include me. Fathers like me will remember. You may keep your seats this cycle, you may maybe the next, but I won't quit until each of you is replaced. And Paula Reed, you're in my district. I've heard you're not running again. If that's true, good. But if you're planning something bigger, if you think higher office is your next move, then let me be crystal clear. I will be your opposition. At every campaign stop, on every ballot, in every debate, you've lost the right to lead. And I'll make sure voters know why. Don't think you can take a man's child from him and not reap a whirlwind.
All right, so before we go on, how did that clip make you feel? Like, for real, pause the video really quick. Like, did it make you feel happy, sad, angry? There's literally no wrong answer here. The emotion you are feeling from the video is the point of that video. Someone literally chose to put that video in front of you to elicit that emotion because they benefit from the emotion that you're feeling right now in some way. Now, before we talk about who actually stands to benefit here, it's important to figure out why this topic is going viral in society in the first place. All of a sudden, modernity has put us in a place where not only do we need to keep pace with technology in order to stay relevant at our jobs, in our social lives, but this technology is now so advanced that we can change sex organs of children and change their hormonal makeup to match. And now, a societal conversation must be had about whether or not we want this. And the conversation isn't going to stop there. Within the next 10 years, we're going to have the conversation around designer babies, where we alter fetuses in the womb with technology like CRISPR to decide how strong, how attractive, how intelligent, how empathetic our children will be. Is it right for us to design our children like this? What will happen if we choose to have children naturally, while everyone around us is having children that are faster, smarter than ours? Will our children get left behind if we don't use technology to give them the best future possible? And is it right to use this type of technology on children in the first place? The trans surgery and puberty blocker for children debate is simply the starting point for these types of conversations. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's take a look and see who actually benefits from you seeing this video. With this particular video, there are 3 parties who benefit from this video being seen. Number 1 is the guy in the video. Number 2 is the original poster of the video, which is the school district, because these are the guys who filmed it, put it online originally. And the third party is the account that reposted it. So, party number 1. The guy in the video's name is Dustin Gonzalez. Now, the reason this guy wants you to see this video is because he believes his rights as a father are being taken away by both the school district, the judge overseeing his custody battle for his children, as well as his ex-wife. By you seeing the video, he feels like he has more help in the realm of public opinion in his custody battle with his ex-wife. And on top of this, in order to try and fight this from happening in the future to other parents, Dustin is going to run a campaign to be elected to the school board in order to fight policies regarding transgender children, because he thinks these policies are wrong. So, by getting the word out there and having this video go viral, Dustin benefits by getting more people in the community aware of House Bill 251312, which is the bill that is keeping him from seeing his daughter. Now, on top of this, he has other motivations as well, whether he's consciously aware of them or not. By going viral online, this guy gets a boost in social status. Because this video has gone viral, he's able to appear on major social media accounts online. He gains a higher level of recognition and respect from the people around him, as well as people in his community. And he is able to use this newfound virality to help him run for the school board, where, if elected, he makes a bit of money and he further cements his heightened reputation in his community. Now, keep in mind, these latter motivations aren't necessarily bad, and he might not even be necessarily aware of them, but they are there. And this brings us to party number 2, which is the state of Colorado. And the state of Colorado's primary reason for wanting you to see this footage is actually a pretty principled stance. Colorado believes that these meetings should and must be videotaped because the public has a right to know what happens at these meetings even if they are unable to attend. Now, the reason I say this is a principled stance is because this video makes the school board, the school district, and the state of Colorado at large look bad to a large portion of the population, as well as people internationally. Like, I highly doubt Jeffco Public School Board of Education takes massive delight in having footage from their meetings that make them look bad blasted out across a whole slew of conservative social media accounts. Yet, the state still chooses to keep the law which requires this intact, even when the state looks bad as a result, which again, makes this a pretty principled stance by Colorado. However, just like Dustin Gonzalez, there are other potential benefits from this video going viral that they may be consciously or unconsciously aware of. Believe it or not, the school district, the city, and even Colorado as a state benefit from videos like this going viral because there are plenty of parents who watch Dustin in that video and hate absolutely everything he has to say. And this hatred galvanizes support for the law that Dustin is criticizing. It galvanizes support for the school district inside of the group of parents who actually support House Bill 251312 and potentially even attracts non-profit funding from trans-focused organizations who see videos like this and believe that Jeffco School District are fighting the good fight, and they want to offer their support as well as a result. Now, you may think that this is a stretch, but it really isn't. A video clip like this can often be cited in a nonprofit grant application if the school district is applying for a grant from a trans-sympathetic organization, because a video like this is worth 1,000 words. And now this brings us to party number 3 who benefits from this clip being seen, and that is the reposter account, which in this case is Libs of TikTok on X. Libs of TikTok's entire brand is centered around posting rage bait content. All of their content is set up in order to appeal to MAGA conservatives by either making them feel better than the liberals around them or making them enraged via videos like the one we watched a few minutes ago. The reason Libs of TikTok only post content like this is because the 3 feelings that drive the most engagement on social media is fear, rage, and self-righteousness. If you post a video online that causes a viewer to feel any of these 3 things, so much so that they instinctively comment on that video because so much energy has built up inside of them that they can't help but begin typing out a response, you, my friend, have a viral video. Now, Libs of TikTok knows this. They've built an entire business model around this insight. You can even see how Libs of TikTok chooses to craft the caption of this video. It is purposely set up in such a way to evoke as much emotion from you as possible. And this business model gives them a couple of things. The first thing it gives them is money. While X doesn't have the greatest pay structure in the world, Libs of TikTok is likely making in the realm of $10,000 to $20,000 a month on the amount of engagement that they get from X. However, money is not the primary benefit here on their end. The primary driver here is influence and power. Because Trump is in the White House and because Elon was instrumental in getting Trump elected and because Elon owns X, influencers in the MAGAverse are getting incredible amounts of preferential treatment in the Trump White House because Trump and his team understand the power of social media. A concrete example of this can be seen when Trump released his Epstein Files Phase 1 initiative, where he brought MAGA influencers on X, not journalists, to the White House so that they could be the first to report on the Epstein files. You can literally see Chaya Raichik, who is the owner of Libs of TikTok, here at the White House in the middle between these 2 other MAGA influencers at the personal invitation of the President of the United States. Political power like this is Chaya's main motive, and thus it is the primary motive of Libs of TikTok. And keep in mind here, Libs of TikTok isn't a one-man show. This is a real operation. This account posts 36 times a day plus, with videos, news articles, pictures, captions, literally the whole gambit. A single person cannot do this operationally day in, day out, which means that Chaya invests money into putting videos like this in front of you each and every day because she stands to benefit in extraordinary ways by doing so. However, I think the most important question with all of this is as follows. Do you want to play into Chaya Raichik's hands, even if you agree with her politically? Does it make sense for your rage, for your fear, for your self-righteousness to exist as a result of you interacting with videos on social media in order to make someone more rich and more powerful. And on top of this, why was Dustin's clip so captivating to you in the first place that you not only watched the whole clip, but you're still here minutes later watching this video about the clip? This clip was put in front of you for a reason. There are multiple parties here who profit from the emotions they elicit from you via their content. And they are manipulating your emotions so that they become more powerful. And the craziest part here is that you know this, and yet you still engage with the content. Now, all of this reminds me of this time last year where with Anti.Prophet, I was posting the most rage bait that I had ever posted online up until that point. And it got to a place where I started to feel really gross and really icky from doing it. And it got so bad that I had to take a step back for about a month to figure out why I had gone in the direction of posting rage bait in the first place. And when I took that step back, the insight that I walked away with was that I profited from making people angry as a result of rage bait content. And on top of that, the reason why I gravitated towards that content in the first place in my own algorithm is because at that period of time, I was so incredibly miserable. I genuinely thought that the US was on the brink of a civil war, that nuclear war was inevitable and would likely happen within the next couple of years. And when you go around with that type of mindset, the world that you see around you becomes distorted, becomes ugly, becomes enraging. This was the insight that I walked away with once I took a step back and looked at how I engaged with rage bait content. So again, I ask you the question, what does your interest in Dustin's clip reveal to you about your life and about your mental state? Because remember, the algorithm always gives you what it knows you want. It is designed to maintain your attention by learning your behavior and mirroring it back, which consciously and unconsciously captivates you and the people you interact with. It is literally one of the most tactful tools for the collective unconscious and for personal shadow work that there is. If you can begin to realize that you aren't merely disturbed by the types of videos that you see on social media, what you're really disturbed by is your own reflection. So again, let me know in the comments, what does Dustin's video reveal to you about your life and about your mental state? And if you want to go even deeper with this question, then click on the video right here.